I keep talking, you can start walking. I don't care anyway, 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 anyway.
Hello, and welcome to the I Don't Care Anyway podcast. I'm your host, Macy Crofts, and I'm so excited to be here. I actually sat in front of the recording button for about 20 minutes, if not more. We can say that it was nerves, but in reality, it was the fault of my co host. My co host is my 20-pound Shih Tzu, Scully, who decided that now would be a really good time to lick his paws and then scratch his ears and then lick his inner thighs. Now, I know that we just all love that sound and don't despise it in the slightest, but I had to wait for him to be done to be able to start this. And now he's laying right next to me snoring. So thank you so much. And if you could just please thank Scully. He did set all of this up for us. He set up the microphone as well as the camera, all of the software that is needed to create a podcast. He set up for us. So if you see him, please tell him thank you. But I don't care anyway. I actually do care. I actually care so much, especially on Tuesdays. So I'm so excited that you guys are here. We are based in Boise, Idaho, which right now in May, it is the most beautiful time. I like to call it celebration season. School is getting out. If you drive around Boise on any given day in May, there is a graduation happening. You can see families gathering, people in graduation caps. Even all the high schools do their graduations in downtown Boise. So it is just so much fun to see. I love being around for all of it, even if I don't have anybody close in my life graduating. I just love celebration season. And do you guys remember the last day of school in like fifth grade? Was it not just so magical? I remember my school, the school that I went to first through seventh grade. On the last day of school, they invited all the families to come and do a picnic outside with all their students. And then a couple days before that, you do field day. I remember field day always used to fall on the coldest spring day. We had been having, temperatures from 75 to 80. Oh no. Field day always somehow landed on the coldest day of the entire week. But you know what? It made for the best memories. So I love this time of year. I know that families are making memories, and I just love all the celebrations that are happening. People are moving on to bigger and better things. And speaking of, I just moved. I just moved. I went from a different suburb of Boise to now being in Boise. So I am just so excited. It has been such a good change for me. It is a beautiful spot. The Greenbelt goes all the way through Boise. So I am on just the perfect spot on the Greenbelt. So it has just been so wonderful to be down there and a really, really good change. So that has caused for a little bit of celebration for me at the same time. Now, something that I have just been absolutely loving lately is seeing such masculine men outside with their little girly dogs. I just think it is the funniest thing in the entire world. There's a man and he's like 6'2", backwards hat, mustache, tattoos, really huge calves. And he's walking like a 20-pound Yorkie, maybe a little less than that. And her name is Princess. I just think it is the funniest thing. I've just been absolutely loving it. And I've been seeing it so much more because the weather is so nice. And so everybody's outside with their dogs, taking their dogs to the park. And then the other day I was dropping Scully off for his grooming appointment. And the description of the man I just listed was right in front of me. He is dropping off his 25-pound golden doodle named Harley. He has all the specifications for her grooming listed in his phone. He's reading it to the groomer and says, "Yes, I will be picking her up. Just please call me." And you just know that this man did not pick out this dog. It's very likely that it is his girlfriend or his wife's dog, or the dog was already there and then he was the third to join that family. I just think it is so funny. You know that he didn't pick it out. You know that he was not on those original adoption papers. And so to see those men walk those dogs or to take them to grooming appointments, I truly think it is so incredibly masculine. So I've been just been seeing that so much more lately. I just wanted to talk about it because I think it is hilarious, but it's also sweet. You know, I'm not gonna lie, that's what I want. I want a super nice masculine guy to walk my little 20-pound Shih Tzu named Scully, who is the biggest brat that has ever lived on the face of the earth, who has terrible Boise Greenbelt etiquette, by the way, doesn't understand that there's lanes. There's lanes painted on the Greenbelt. Well, first off, he's blind. So maybe that's the first problem. But also, he just doesn't care. He doesn't want to stay in his lane. Well, there's people that bike and ride scooters on the Greenbelt. So it's actually very important to stay in your lane. He doesn't get it. We're going to work on it. We are working on it more every day. He actually did really well today, this morning. But we're going to work on that Boise Greenbelt etiquette. But what I would not give to see a super masculine tall man try to control Scully on the Boise Greenbelt, it would be quite the sight to see. Now, speaking of men and me having just moved, I have been acting like such a man lately. And by that, I mean, I have been an absolute fiend on Facebook Marketplace. It is the funnest place. It is like an online thrift store that's within what, 20 miles of you? No wonder men love it so much. No wonder they're on it every second of every day, making offers to things that they don't even need. I have fallen into that. I completely see why. I get on there looking for an espresso maker or maybe an entertainment center or a TV stand. And I get into the darkest hole of these ice makers, of trailers that I don't need. There's endless possibilities. So no wonder men just love Facebook Marketplace so much. It makes a lot of sense to me now. So I found a lady selling a rug. Well, she wasn't actually selling it, it was free. And I went to go pick it up. I took it. And it was blue and it was an 8x10. And it was actually a really nice rug that she was giving away. I vacuum it. Well, it doesn't really match the space very well. The coloring is off. It just doesn't match the space. So I end up selling it for $30 on Facebook Marketplace. So for those of us that got a D in math in college, that is a $30 net profit. So I made $30 off of this rug that I got for free in the first place. That all I had to do was vacuum and then turn around and sold it again because it didn't work. If I've ever made fun of you and you're a man and I've made fun of you for being on Facebook Marketplace so much, I take it back because I really do understand it now. And especially with moving and having to furnish a brand new place. Okay, I fully get it. And I apologize for making fun of you for it. Okay. All right. Well, who am I and who are you and why are you here on the I Don't Care Anyway podcast? We care so much, but we also do not care at all. Now, going back to fifth grade, starting in fifth grade, I got excessive talking on every single report card, and I really do mean every single one. Macy excessively chats with her peers, and that was on every report card till I got out of high school. So for me, it just made a lot of sense. The other day, I was flying from Boise to Georgia, and I have a middle seat, which I don't mind. I'm not that tall, so I don't really mind a middle seat that much. It's not that big of a deal to me. And it was Comfort Plus. Shout out Delta. I have status with them, so thank you so much, Delta. So I'm getting into this middle seat, and there's two men in the window in the aisle. And I point to it and I say, "Hey, I'm sitting there. I'm in the middle." So the guy in the aisle gets up, and they're both about 55, 60 ish, what my dad's age would be. And I go to sit down and they clearly know each other because they're talking to each other and like talking around me. And they go, "Well, we're really excited that you're sitting here. We were really worried about who was going to sit in between us on this 4-hour flight. And we were really hoping it would be someone small. So we're really excited that you're here." And then he just kept talking. And I could not get past, "We were hoping someone small would sit here. So we're really excited that you're here." I could not get past that. "So you think I'm small?" All I heard just now is you tell me that you think I'm small. And for someone that's lost 100 pounds, that was a magical, magical moment for me. So, number one, he calls me small. I'm so excited about that. And then all this chattiness that I've had built up in me my entire life, I chat with these guys the whole way there. They're headed to Georgia for a golf tournament, I want to say. But, they called me small. They wanted to chat. I became their best friends. So I was so excited. And we chatted about just about everything you can possibly think of. 4 hours is actually a lot of time to fill. So it worked out great. Okay, now it is time for our first segment, which I am so excited about. It's called Notes app. Now, I'm sure so many of you can relate to this. My Notes app is a truly tumultuous place. It's quite terrifying. It has the most gut-wrenching literature you've ever read in your entire life. It has also love letters written in it, recipes, directions, lists of random things, passwords, everything. And so I decided that one of the segments that I wanted to do would be called Notes app. And I would read something directly from my Notes app right here on the podcast and then just kind of explain myself a little bit. So I found a note that was labeled. It just had a dash next to it. And it said, rodents are not acceptable. That was it. It literally just said rodents are not acceptable. And I thought, okay, wait, what? And then all of a sudden it came back to me. And I remember seeing a license plate cover or an emblem. What are they called where it goes around the license plate? It's like a rectangle and it goes around your license plate. I saw someone with one of those license plate. I think they're called emblems. And it said, crazy about guinea pigs. Crazy about guinea pigs. You could be crazy about truly anything. And this person's license plate said crazy about guinea pigs. And that is when I wrote down in my phone, rodents are not acceptable. And this goes a little bit further back. When I have children and a husband, when I get those things, when I acquire a husband and then later on a couple children, rodents will not be acceptable in my home. I do not care if my child wants a hamster or a gerbil or a hedgehog. Oh my gosh. Absolutely not. Not. That will not be acceptable in my home. I don't think that rodents, also those things I just listed are also roadkill. Okay. It's also roadkill. That will not be acceptable in my home. I do not care if my child wants a hamster. I will bully them out of it. I will tell them, well, hamsters are gross and they smell awful, and all the kids at school are going to make fun of you if you have a hamster. I will literally tell my kid anything that I have to. I'll lie to my kid. Are you kidding? Obviously. To talk them out of trying to bring a rodent into my house. Absolutely. I don't care if anyone thinks I'm going to be a mean mom. Like, I just don't care. You cannot be bringing rodents into your civilized home. You can have a little 20-pound Shih Tzu. That's fine. He's also blind, by the way. My co host, Scully, is also blind. Maybe that's why he's so bad on the green belt because he can't see the lines. I was bullying him all morning, telling him to stay in his lane. I've known he's blind the whole time I've had him, which is about 7 years. I rescued him from a Chinese meat market. He only has one eye, by the way. Oh my gosh, Scully, I'm so sorry. I'm such a mean mom. I was bullying him this morning for not staying in his own lane. And I'm now remembering, dude can't even see. My bad. That is my bad. I will take accountability for that. That is my bad. Anyway, back to the rodents. This license plate truly disturbed me so bad that it was enough for me to write it in my notes app. Okay, I have breakup letters in my notes app. So that will tell you how much this license plate cover had an effect on me. And I love it when people say, you know what? Don't yuck other people's yums. Just let people like what they want to like. Oh no, not around here. I will absolutely yuck your yum if your yum is guinea pigs. That is truly insane to me. To go as far as to put it on your license plate. I mean, that's crazy. I went to Texas A&M, so I have a Texas A&M emblem on my car. Okay, well that makes sense. I got a bachelor's degree there. Okay. Crazy for guinea pigs. I will not be getting past that, will I? So anyway, first segment of the day, first segment of the podcast ever. Rodents are not acceptable. Please keep that in mind. And I hope that you adapt that into your own life because rodents are not acceptable in the slightest. Not in your home, really not anywhere. The only place they're acceptable is dead on the side of the road. And I stand by that. All right, on this podcast, I want to cover just about anything and everything that I can, apparently, including roadkill. Really did not plan on that. But, we all have so many experiences. And that is why on the Instagram, which is I Don't Care Anyway Pod, that is the handle. Please follow along so that you can submit your stories. We're going to be doing a lot of different listener submitted episodes. There's also going to be an opportunity to submit voicemails. So you can send me a voicemail. We will play it here on the podcast. And then I will do reactions to it, respond to whatever your questions are. So not just that, but also different submissions on different situations that you've been in your life, maybe a little bit about your healing. Coming up next will be a peer-reviewed glow-up guide, something you don't want to miss, especially if you've known me in the last 5 years. But I just want to be able to be so relatable and relate to other women. I love podcasts that are very similar to this one. And that is what made me feel like I wanted to start one. I love hearing the experiences of others. I love deep dives and I love listener submitted things, but with my own spin on it, with my own personality, with my own experiences that are going to be able to share and relate on the same thing. So look out for those submission weeks that will be on the Instagram. I also I want to do something for me. And I know what you're thinking. This podcast seems like it's the most performative thing you can possibly do. It's not because I have done a lot of performative things in my life. I've done performative things that have temporarily ruined my life, that have put me in a really bad spot, for example. And this podcast is truly, truly for me. Of course, it's for you at the same time, but I don't know where it's going to take me, and I'm okay with that. I just want to start it because of all the performative things that I've done in my life. This I can tell you is not one of those performative things. And I am so excited to see where I end up. And this podcast is something I've been wanting to start for like 3 years. I've been thinking about it for 3 years. I've been sitting on this for 3 years. And I'm at the truly a very, very busy time in my life, and I just decided now's the time. I crafted the idea for this podcast in February. So it is now May. It's been a good 4.5 to 5 months of coming up with branding, getting everything together, being able to launch. And in the last 5 months, I have truly thought about this every day, nonstop, about what I want to do to be able to relate to others, how I want to share experiences, but also what it will take to finally get there so that I stop thinking about this and finally just do it. So I am so excited to finally be here, to be in the spot that I've wanted to be in for 3 years. 3 years later, I am finally here. My producer, Sam at 1159 Media, he actually approached me about this about 3 years ago. And then again 2 years ago. And each time it was the same thing. I just said, no, I'm not interested. I'm not ready. Even though I was, it just wasn't the right time. And if anyone here knows anything about timing, I'm sure you guys know the timing has to be right. I'm sure you guys can think of so many things in your life where the timing simply was not correct. So you had to start over. You had to push something off. There's also something to be said about simply just taking the leap for it. All right, I am going to get philosophical for just a second here. I hate cheesy things, but I also love them at the same time because sometimes it just really makes sense. Have you guys ever been down so bad that you see something and it just hits you so deeply? In February, I was down so bad. I'm not going to be specific. We'll get into it later, but I was down so bad in February and I saw this reel that said, nothing changes if nothing changes. And I just was like, "My gosh, this is me." And it's literally just the same phrase twice. Nothing changes if nothing changes. But that is truly how I felt. I was like, well, nothing's going to change if I don't. Nothing will. I'll never get to do the things that I want to do. And that is where I'm going to get philosophical. There are 7 days in a week, and none of them are someday. Okay, I'm saying SOME, not SUN. There are 7 days a week. None of them are someday. Someday I'll be confident enough to do something. Someday I'll stop doubting every decision that I make. Someday I will trust myself again, which has been a really, really big thing for me. Someday, we're going to get a little deeper. Someday he'll stop demeaning me. Someday he'll stop cheating on me. Someday he will treat me as an equal. Here's the thing about someday is it doesn't exist. It's not tomorrow. It's not the next day. It's not Wednesday. It's not the present. And it's not 3 days from now. Someday does not exist. So you have to take the things that you want to do, find the right time and do them for you. It doesn't mean you have to do every single thing that you want to do right now. But if you're sick of waiting around and you just want to make something happen, take that. Realize that someday is not coming. It does not exist. It is never going to pop off because nothing changes if nothing changes. I don't even think that was the first time I'd heard that. I have heard the phrase nothing changes if nothing changes. I've probably heard that so many times that when you're down bad, any small little pick me up phrase really can change everything. And I'm so glad that it did because I am so excited to be here. One more thing before we wrap up this first episode. In January of 2025, so about a year and a half ago, I was shopping and I found the cutest yellow dress. It is so cute. It's about mid thigh. It's a tank top, square neck, cutest yellow dress ever. But it's wintertime. So I bought it and I told myself, okay, this is the cutest yellow dress. I'm going to wear it this summer on a date, on a cute little summertime picnic, out to dinner, to the park, whatever. I'm going to wear this summer on a date. That was that was over a year and a half ago. And that dress still has the tags on it. In fact, I just moved it into my new place. I was moving it and I was hanging it up and I thought, oh my gosh, this dress again. Seriously, it's still here. Then I tried it on. It still fits perfectly. It's actually so cute. But I was waiting around for the perfect situation to wear it, for the perfect scenario to wear it in. And now it's 18 months later and I still haven't worn it and it still has the tags on it. Also, I did not go on a single date in summer of 25. So I was saving it for a date that was never going to happen. And I had lots of other situations where this would have been a perfect dress. And I just never took it. I never wore it. I never thought, okay, now's the time to wear this dress. Why did I need something to wear it for? I don't. It is such a cute dress. I should have just worn it on any given Tuesday. Now that Tuesdays are the best days of the week, I should have just worn it. So wear the GD yellow dress. Stop putting off the things that you want to do and join me every Tuesday for relatable content, also just for pure entertainment. Maybe you need something mind numbing. Maybe you need something that you do not want to have to think about. And that is great. That is fine. Join me here, submit your stories, and listen to others on the I Don't Care Anyway podcast. Again, thank you so much for joining me. I will see you every single Tuesday from here on out. Bye.